In this lecture, we will learn about flowchart symbols.
Hi, I am Imran Afzal. I make learning technology easy, even for beginners in IT. So I have over 25 years of experience in Linux administration, Windows, virtualization, and many more. I have taught millions of students worldwide.
A flowchart is like a small map that shows how a program works. Instead of writing code, we draw shapes, and each shape has a meaning. These shapes help us to understand the flow of a program from start to end. The first important flowchart symbol is the start and end symbol, which is usually drawn as an oval shape. This symbol tells us where the program begins and where it ends. For example, if you write a Python program that simply prints a message, the flowchart starts with the start symbol, then moves to a process that prints the message and finally reaches the end symbol. The start symbol is like the beginning of a journey, and the end symbol is like reaching the final destination. The next one is the process symbol, usually shown as a rectangle. This symbol means that the computer is doing some action. It could be storing a value in a variable, adding numbers, printing output, or performing any step. For example, in a Python program, if you write a line like x equals 5, the flowchart will show a process symbol that says store 5 in x. When you later write another line like x equals x plus 1, the flowchart again uses the process symbol to show increase x by 1. So every time the computer performs a simple task, the rectangle shape is used. Another important one is the input and output symbol, which looks like a parallelogram. This shape tells us when the program is either taking input from the user or showing output on the screen. For example, when you use the input function, the flowchart shows an input symbol that says ask user for number. And when you use print function, the flowchart uses the output symbol to show display the result to the user. These symbols make it easy to understand when the program communicates with the outside world. One of the most powerful symbols in a flowchart is the decision symbol, which is drawn as a diamond. This shape is used when a program needs to choose between two paths. For example, in Python, when you write an if condition, the flowchart uses a diamond to show the decision. If the condition is true, the flow goes in one direction. If false, it goes in another. Suppose you write an if statement like if x is greater than 10, print high, else print low. The diamond symbol shows this decision and two arrows come out of it, one for yes and one for no. The flow chart makes it easy to understand that the program changes its behavior depending on the value of x. Another symbol used in flowcharts is the connector symbol, which is usually a small circle. This symbol helps when the flowchart becomes long or difficult to draw in a straight line. The connector acts like a jump point, telling us that the flow continues somewhere else. For example, imagine a Python program where you have many steps in between, and it becomes hard to show all of them in a small space. A connector allows you to continue the flow in another part of the page without confusion. It simply keeps the diagram clean and readable. Next, we have the flow line symbol, which is not really a shape but an arrow. This arrow connects each symbol and shows the direction of the program. It tells us where the program goes next. Without arrows, the flow chart would look like random shapes with no meaning. For example, after storing a value in a variable in Python, the arrow guides you to the next step, such as checking a condition or printing the output. The arrow is like a road that connects all the steps together. Another useful symbol is the loop symbol, although loops are usually shown using a combination of arrows and decision diamonds. A loop in Python is when you repeat a task many times, like using a for loop or a while loop. For example, if your Python program prints numbers from 1 to 5, the flowchart uses a decision symbol to check whether the loop should continue. If the answer is yes, the arrow goes back to the process of printing the next number. If the answer is no, the arrow moves forward to end the loop. So loops in flowcharts always involve going back to an earlier step. Flowcharts also use a preparation symbol, which is a hexagon shape, but this one is not used very often in simple programs. It usually represents setting up something before the main logic begins. For example, if your Python program initializes some variables before starting the main loop, you might show that step using a preparation symbol. For example, if you write set x to 0, this can be shown using the hexagon to indicate this is a preparation step before the rest of the program runs. Flowcharts may also contain subprocess symbols, which are rectangles with double edges. These symbols represent bigger tasks that are broken into smaller parts. For example, if your Python program contains a function like calculate total, you can represent the entire function as a subprocess symbol. Inside that subprocess, there may be many lines of code, but the flowchart keeps it simple by showing only the overall function name. This helps in dividing complex programs into small and understandable pieces. Another symbol sometimes used is the document symbol, which looks like a rectangle with a wavy bottom. This symbol is used when the program produces a report or stores some information in a file. For example, if a Python program writes data into a text file, the flowchart uses the document symbol to show this. It tells the reader that something is being saved as a document outside the program. So these are the most important shapes that are used in flowcharts, and each shape plays a clear role in explaining how a program works. These shapes also help to remove the fear of beginners because they feel that coding is very difficult, but once a flowchart is shown, the entire logic looks simple and organized for them, and they become confident to understand the program and move towards writing the actual code. See you in the next lecture.
I hope you learned something useful in this video, and I will see you in the next one. But wait, please don't forget to subscribe.